Your betting heroes are back. Last week, we said we're going to slow it down and put in the formula. And guess what? The recipe worked, and we crushed last week. Can we do it again? Come on. Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the MoneyPot Betting Show. I am the host, I'm the CEO, I'm the president. Call me Moss Money. Of course, I got my guy, the man on the block with the best teaser bets in the city, Humble. What's up, bro?
What's up, my guy? Happy Thursday.
Yes, sir. Another week, another dollar. We are back in the win column, and it feels so good to win. You know that feeling when it feels so good to win, man. Crushed last week plays. If you guys need to check those out, make sure you go to Money Pot Betting channel and check out last week's plays. But we want to get right into it, man. You know how it is. We can do the intros, we can do this and that, but we want to get right into the plays. And we got week 5 college football. A lot of good plays this week. I'm going to do the same formula that we have been sticking to and sticking with in terms of the plays that we do. And we're going to keep it light again. Once again, the bankroll says to take a step back and recalibrate what you're doing and then slowly build the bankroll back up. And that's what we're doing right here. Ooh, we'll get to this game shortly. So if you want to talk about Eagles, Bucks, make sure you stick around because we will do the preview of that game coming up. But we are going to college football. I know you usually start off the thing early, bro. I don't got nothing on today's game or tomorrow's game. I know you like them early games to get your week started off. You got anything in the early days, or should we go right to Saturday?
You know, I have a
Don't say it, a teaser.
how'd you guess?
How'd you guess? Don't say you got a teaser now. Don't you got a teaser?
I have a teaser that's
all right.
I'm going to listen. I guess I'll start off because it's early games on the early games. So we got a Thursday night game. Excuse me. Thursday night game. I'm sorry. Is that today? Thursday? Yeah. Thursday night game.
Thursday. Yes.
2 early Saturday games. Listen, let's salute Temple for getting their first win.
Yeah.
And not going 0 and 12. So yeah, let's salute them. But they're gonna come back to earth real quick this week when they play Army. Army comes to visit. Not a strange place for Army. They've been here. They're here every year.
Yes, sir.
Or every other year, however the situation may be.
Yeah.
They're a 12.5 point favorite.
Line is going down too. I think this line opened at almost 14.
Good. Keep going down. Okay. Because you got Temple coming off a short week, off of exciting win, going against the triple option.
That cherry red.
We've seen how they did against Navy's triple option. Not so fast, my friend. We're gonna go back to Army here. We're gonna put them in a teaser. We're gonna bring Army from 12.5, get them down to 2.5 to win by more than a field goal, which I think they'll do.
Okay.
I think they covered that line really at the end of the day. At Temple, that's gonna be Friday night game. We're gonna take that over to Minnesota and Michigan. Michigan put up a great performance last week. USC really didn't have a chance in that game. It didn't look like they were struggling that whole game defensively. Michigan stepped up, helped them out. I think they'll do the same thing here at home. I feel like Michigan has a lot of home games so far this week.
Wow, you're taking.
We're going to go
that run heavy Michigan. Just run, play defense.
Yeah, we're going to take Michigan here. Minnesota's traveling to the big house again. Salute to those students getting a lot of home games, a lot of big games. I think Minnesota's going to struggle against this defense. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, obviously. But give me Michigan. Michigan's -9. We're going to bring that down to minus 10 points. That'll give me to +0.5. So pretty much to win. I like Michigan to win. So the first two is Army, Michigan, and then we're going to go to Nebraska, them Cornhuskers. They're traveling over there. Yep, they're traveling over to Indiana. I think this is what their first real true road game, like a true test here at Purdue. But it's Purdue. Not too much going on in Boilermaker country. I like Nebraska here to win. So you bring them from -10 as a 10-point favorite. Bring them down to a pick. That's Nebraska to go to Purdue and get a victory. So pretty much three easy games here to win: Army, Michigan, and Nebraska. Even if you want to parlay them at money line, you might get a better number. But a three-team teaser -10
Yeah, let
is
me say
minus
the
130.
books don't like you, bro. They don't like this bet, so they're not letting me parlay it. I mean, they're not letting me do the teaser on it. So let me see what that money line parlay is real quick and see if we get the better of the number for the folks watching. And then not -4. Let's see. I'm gonna guess it's probably a little bit more higher. I'm gonna say it's probably -1 before I even look at it. I'm gonna say minus like -160, -150, somewhere in there. I think. Won't even let you parlay it. Oh, there it is. Let me see. Not letting me parlay it either.
We might want to change. Let's change books. Let's get out of this book.
Yeah.
That one might be acting up for a second. Sometimes you get midday issues with some of the books.
Yeah, let me switch up the book. Good call. Good call. And this is another teaching moment here as well. When you're looking and searching for lines, always have an extra book on handy. You know what I mean? Like a backup. You know, for my damn, I'm all low on this Eagles game, huh? Just like a pimp. Have a backup. Have a backup hoe on deck.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Just in case. All right, so we're getting different lines here too. That's another thing, right? On DraftKings, that was 12. On ESPN here, we're using it's 12 and a half. Right. So just make sure you guys are checking that as well. We'll do Michigan and then Purdue. Oh, I was way off. Almost even. It's better than your
Yep.
bet, your
Let's go
teaser,
that route. Let's go that route.
-103.
We'll cross that off. Save the juice.
Save the
Get that
juice.
parlay.
Only 3 cents on the dollar. I like it. A little worried about this Michigan game, though. I'm not gonna hold you. I was looking at this game.
Okay.
I don't know if Michigan can Michigan, if Minnesota gets ahead, can Michigan run them down? You know what I mean? Because of this way Michigan played that last game.
Hmm.
You know, now the big house is obviously going to be rocking, but you know, this is their success. This is the formula now of running the ball and playing defense. But sooner or later, you're going to have to pass the ball. Can't run the whole game like they did. Like I felt like they run the whole game last game. Like they ran the whole exact. Like how many passes did old boy have from Michigan last game?
Not
Like
much. I mean, but I
not
think
much.
Minnesota is not explosive either. Iowa shut them down. So I like the defense. I think obviously Iowa has tough
I was
defense.
about to say, was it at Iowa too? Like
No, they were
in
home.
Michigan. I mean in Minnesota.
They were in Minnesota. Yeah, they
Yeah,
they uh they lost 31-14 at home.
yeah. I mean, I guess they did it, to USC because I mean, was that Miller Moss? I think his first name is.
Yeah, you talking about a top elite passer. They
Yeah.
shut him down. I mean, it wasn't as close as it was. It really wasn't.
No, it
Watching that
wasn't. It wasn't. My thing is Ken. My thing is well, and with this Minnesota is a different type of defense, right, than USC. A little bit more tougher. I think in the trenches a little bit. But the dude last week he went 7 for 12 for 32 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, can that really happen again? That's my only worry about this
I mean,
game.
but we're talking. I mean, if we're saying that way, the week before, who's Iowa's quarterback? We know Iowa don't throw the ball. They put up 31 points. Let me go
Yeah.
back. Iowa quarterback Cade McNamara.
Now McNamara's been balling.
He had
McNamara's
was
been playing.
11 for 19 for 62 yards. What are we talking about? He had 11 completions for 62 yards. What is that pass? What is that? What is that? What is that average? What is
Yeah.
that average? What is that? Less than what is that average? That's like 5 yards a pass. So,
You're
I
right.
mean, and for them not to be able to and then really get blown out that game, 31-12,
I mean,
that just shows me that the defense stood up against Minnesota's offense, which I think Michigan will be able to do. Minnesota traveling to the big house, it's gonna be loud, it's gonna be a big environment.
mhm.
Um, and we're getting them to win. We're not getting them to cover the spread, which is 9.5, two
Yeah.
scores. We're getting them to win. So I'm just gonna ride the wave here. I think obviously the coach will have these guys ready to go, not sleeping into this week because this is a Big Ten game. So
Yeah, it's a Big Ten game. Yeah. No, I do. I was just showing my
yeah, for
my
sure, concern.
only worry about concern about the play is the Michigan game that actually concerns me.
I
So
would be only thing on this play I would be more worried about. I'm just a little worried about the Nebraska game.
really,
And I'll tell you only reason why, but I like Nebraska. I think Nebraska is going to
was
be in
that
the
the
playoffs.
Boilermakers, Purdue Boilermakers?
hmm This could be the sleeper game for Nebraska, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
their true first road test. I'm just opening up an app real quick. I just want to see. Sorry,
Okay.
give me the spin wheel. What is it called? Spin.
All right. I'm mad at you. We'll stick on ESPN books, and we will go down to Moss Money's play of the day. Remember, as you can see, we're only doing 2 college and 2 NFL of our best plays. Obviously, we have more. I have more on Twitter at MoneyPot Podcast on Twitter. So if you want to see some more plays that I drop, I'm sticking and staying disciplined though. I stayed disciplined last week. Didn't go too much, out there, and with dibbling and dabbling with a little bit plays here and there. Caught myself a couple times doing that, and lost too when I said I wouldn't. But this week, I'm definitely going to stay to what I'm doing. And just to add to that,
Mm.
Diddy,
You're not going back to the Buffs, are you?
Diddy,
Go ahead, man.
humble.
Keep
No
on playing.
Diddy. I'm
Keep on,
sorry.
keep on
I'm
playing that.
sorry, Diddy.
Playing that.
No, right now Diddy's having
You
big
got to,
time
man,
court
you got to
issues.
edit. You got to
Humble.
edit that out. You got to edit that out. You were
Yeah.
screaming Diddy name too much. We can't even allow
Wow,
that
I
to happen.
was. Yeah, that was.
That was
Yeah.
kind of
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. That was kind of crazy. We're gonna have to edit
Ooh,
that out for sure. Humble.
much
I
better.
believe.
All right. What's up, boss? You believe now?
Oh my gosh.
I believe again. Humble. I believe again. Humble. That Shador Sanders and Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes going down to Florida, baby, taking on KJ Jefferson, RJ Harvey, and those UCF Knights, I think it is, right?
They
The
are.
Knights.
Mhm.
The Knights. Now, do I think they're going to win the game? No, I don't. And the line reflects that, right? 425 dog. But what I do believe is that I believe they will be able to keep this game close. I think 2 touchdowns is way too much for this game. I understand that UCF can just bulldozer Colorado with that run game. They have already named the players. KJ Jefferson, remember him, quarterback from Arkansas. RJ Harvey, Penny, I forget his last name. All these guys are averaging close to 4 to 5 and even 7 yards per carry. UCF has the best running offense in the nation, I believe, if not their top 5. So, with that being said, big fellas up front, they can get it done. In Colorado, we've already known that their big guys up front, offensive or defensive line, have had trouble. So I can see UCF coming in here and bulldozer, but I just don't but my handicap of this game is the other side. I don't know how UCF is going to be able to slow down Colorado's offense. They're not great against rushing the passer, and that's the way you stop Colorado's offense. You have to get Shador on the ground. But if he has some time, kind of a clean pocket, and we've seen him, I won't call it Mahomes because it's not that, but he has this slithering way of getting out of danger. Right? He's not really fast, but he's mobile enough to move to a spot and deliver the ball. To what Humble said not too long ago, which odds probably have changed by now, 35-1, Travis Hunter, Heisman Trophy candidate winner, which was a great bet because he should be probably number one because he is the best player in the nation. And getting the ball to Horn as well. I just don't see UCF slowing them down. Like, it's that run versus pass. Great running offense versus a great passing offense. I think Colorado's going to be able to score here. I was looking at the team total a little bit. It's at 24.5, kind of around about what it was saying. UCF's is at 39.5, which probably is going to be close. But I got this line a little bit earlier today. I got it at 14.5. It's at 14 right now. I love the hook here. So if I jump this up, can I move the line? Yeah, 14.5. Still not bad. You're paying 20 cents on the dollar. Give me Colorado Buffaloes, man. Plus 14.5 to cover. I don't think they're going to win the game. I like them to cover and keep this game somewhat close. I believe, Diddy. I believe.
Yeah, okay. Hey, listen. Last week they pulled it out.
And here's a funny thing: people say they got lucky. So did UCF. UCF was down against TCU, big. You know what I mean? They scored 4 touchdowns in the second half.
I don't know if that's luck.
You don't know if that's luck?
No. That's just
in Texas, in TCU, come back like that.
You think that's luck?
I think there's a little bit of luck there.
I mean, to come back, I think that's more just somebody. I don't think that's luck. I think when you throw a Hail Mary for the game on 4th down and
I'm not.
Touchdown, I think that's more luck of what happened in Colorado.
I agree with that.
For
sure, it was a pretty play too. Pretty play.
Yeah.
Pretty play. And them boys, and there was another opportunity there too. He dropped the ball. You know what I mean? But when you put Hunter on their best defender, right? UCF, I mean their best offensive player.
Mm-hmm.
I forget that receiver's name. Let me look it up real quick. But when you do that, I just I'm in my it's just like, how does UCF win? And they're gonna have to run the ball. Right.
Which
Hudson,
I think they will have very much success. So
yeah.
I mean, listen, you got 14.5, you're getting over 2 scores for the most part. I don't think it's a bad play. I just don't trust Colorado. So
Hoover threw for 400 yards last game. Hunter's going to get over 100.
I don't believe in Colorado. So
you better start believing.
Nah, never. Not until
damn, never.
I probably never will believe in them. But obviously the line shapes that. They're minus 14. So they're not going to win this game. They got a long stretch ahead of them too. They might got one more win out of this schedule, and we're gonna keep it moving, man. But good luck to you on that 14.5. I think I like that you went up as far as strategically going up to get to half a point, paying a little bit of the juice. Could it be a 10-point game because UCS defense is not as strong, so you'll be able to have opportunity for Shador to throw down the field, which I agree.
Yeah, exactly. The handicap is on the other side. It's like, I get that UCF should win this game, but the handicap is on their defense versus the matchup of their defense versus their offense. And as much as they pass, I think they'll find some success being able to pass the ball.
That's if Shador's not on his back. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, you up, bro?
Man, we're gonna give the people what they want, man. The biggest game of the week.
Texas. I mean, not Texas, Bama, Georgia.
Yeah, we're gonna get them.
Is that prime time? Is that prime time?
You know, is it prime time? It's the best game of the week.
Prime time. I know it's prime time. I was looking at this game. This is a big time game, man. I'm really interested in your handicap on this one, man.
Yeah, man.
Because you've been on them Georgia Bulldogs,
and I'm gonna stay on them Bulldogs, man. I like the Bulldogs here. I know they had a rough game.
I'm gonna stay on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on them Bulldogs. They had a rough game last week. I think that was more of a wake up call for this game. This is what you call that was a sleeper game for them.
Yeah.
You got a game that you're preparing for. Got to go to Alabama. I know everybody's gonna be excited and hype about. The line might be off because it might be some weather, or there will be some weather. I think that's going to play in Georgia's favor here. I think the weather with the hurricane coming up is going to impact Alabama and Tuscaloosa. So I think you're going to get some sluggish field So it's going to slow down Bama. And I think it's going to play into Georgia's defense, right? So they're going to have to run the ball, which I don't think they're going to be able to do. They're going to give some issues with Milroe in the passing game, which we know he can kind of be hot and cold. This Georgia defense is elite. This Georgia defense kind of reminds me of any, big time top defenses that's come out. So I'm really excited to see this game. I think it's going to be a boxy game for a minute, but I think UGA is going to kind of push off at the end. That 2 is not enough. I love the 2.5. So give me Georgia minus 2.5. You can do the money line too if you want to pay a little bit of the juice. It's only at 130. Just be mindful that there is some weather here.
Hold on, the 2. They're Georgia's favorite, bro.
Yeah.
So
I had a 2.5. I seen a 2.5. So
okay.
The line moved to 2, so that's fine. If you got 2,
okay. Yeah. It's 2.
Yeah. So you got money line at 130. When I looked at it, it was at 2.5. So that's perfect there. I think defense is going to lead this team, the Georgia Bulldogs, and they got the wake up call last week against Kentucky. Kentucky's a tricky place to play. That's just bottom line.
Yeah.
It's just a difficult place to play in Kentucky. You guys are very familiar with each other. UGA hasn't played Alabama in a long time, and I mean, as far as they haven't played a Saban-less Alabama, and a God knows when. So this is an opportunity for Smart to get back up on those boards. I think Alabama wins this series 43-26 right now. It's Smart's era. He's going to take the lead by storm, and give me Georgia.
Yeah, I was thinking about this game, and obviously, huge game down there in Tuscaloosa. Didn't know about the weather affecting this game, and with that being said, I will be monitoring these total points. Like you said, Georgia best defense in the country, and Bama defense is, I wouldn't say just as stout, but statistically up there, top 5, top 10 defenses in the country as well. There's some other outliers out there, but we know who teams that Georgia's played and how they play defense. What do you think about this total and taking the under? Really like the under here. I know last time Monroe played them, obviously huge. What was that? The playoff game last year, 27-24. But different teams, a lot of NFL players on both sides of the ball there. I'm not sure if we see that this year. Like, I haven't watched Georgia as much, but is there? I felt like offensively last year Georgia had some good NFL talent, and obviously we already know what they had on defense. And with Bama, maybe not so much as what we're used to seeing. But they had Kool-Aid, they had Arnold, so they had some back end top talent. But this year, not so much. I don't think. I think there is a good corner again in Bama. Will probably be a top 10 pick. Not so sure about who's over in Georgia, but looking at this total, bro, what do you think about the total, and what do you think about the pick of going under on this side, especially with inclement weather, probably coming up the coast here. I think it's hitting Florida now as a Category 4, so
definitely just a big. And like I said, those that's down there, obviously, in the Gulf side, be careful. Obviously, safety's first. So the storm is coming. Is not a this is a serious situation. They're saying it's a Cat 4, so it's gonna be one of the biggest ones to be marked in our history. So just be prepared for that. 48 points. Like I said, I think it's going to be. I think the weather's going to be an impact. This is why I really like Georgia with the 2.5, because I think Alabama, if it was on like a nice Saturday night, they might be able to move the ball on the ground, because Georgia has seemed to be a little bit leaky against the run. Not leaky to the point where they're not good, but they've just been giving up some chunk yardage. But they're stout red zone defense, and Jalen but they're top. But as far as Georgia being a top 5, top 10 defense against the pass is going to give Jalen Milroe some issues. So I think this game is going to be on the ground. I think both teams are going to run this ball. They're probably going to stay away from the air a little bit. So you're under sitting at 46.5. Is that what you're looking at?
No, it's 48.
48. I like the under there. I do.
Yeah, I thought 48 was high.
Does play impact in this game. I think the game is going to be a boxy game, like I said, and it could be easy, like a 24-14 type of win. I do like the under. It's a good note. I'm gonna take that down. I do see it be like 24-14.
I'm gonna do that live here. I'm gonna write that down. I didn't take that, but I was looking at it because I wanted to handicap this game. But like you said, a boxy type game, close. There should be, kind of big plays. But I forgot about the Storm coming up the coast here, and this is box office game. So out of all the games that they're not going to postpone, I'm going to try everything they can do to make sure that this game kicks off 7:30 prime time. They're going to want this game to kick off. You're talking about over 100,000 people tickets, so they're going to be jam packed down there in Bama, regardless of the weather. So yeah, give me the under here, 48.5.
Yep.
I can, like you said, especially with that Georgia defense, be real interesting to see if the weather affects that. So if you want this line, I would jump on it now. This is just a half unit bet, just like all my bets have been recently from last week, just to get me back up into the positive in my bankroll and where I want to be before I start pushing and hammering more home on these bets. But if the weather starts to really affect with the track of the storm, I could see this dropping down to 46.5, 40, 45. Like the under is going to fall fast.
Yeah, we'll know soon. It's going to be coming through the night. So, I mean, still 2 days away. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be weather as far as the wind and the rain. It's not going to because it's going to hit land today.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pushing through probably by Saturday. I'm just saying the turf will be wet. It will be probably a sloppy turf. So I think that's going to lead to more plays on the ground.
True, and more running, and what Humble is kind of getting into in terms of more plays on the ground is that eats up clock, right? Yep. Running the ball eats up clock. So that's where it kind of hit now. So, all right. Like the bet, huge game.
I do want to say that. You know what I think is probably more impactful to that total? Maybe that 2-minute warning, man. That extra time out for colleges could be probably really impactful to the total. I wonder what that number is. I got to do some math and see what that looks like over this year so far. What has the 2-minute warning being added into the college has impacted team totals and totals? It's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that or even thought about that, but yeah, that's an interesting thing to kind of take into account. All right, for my last bet for college football week, we're going to where there ain't no quarterback playing. We don't know what's going on with Oklahoma Sooners versus Auburn Tigers, and really I think this game is split. I think the line reflects that too. If you look at the way the money line and the number is -110, -2. Auburn is a home dog at +2, -110, and came out that Mike Hawkins, true freshman, is going to start. They started most of the game against Tennessee last week. Arnold got pulled, and I think it's to hide that game. The score doesn't reflect how that game went, and I think it's to hide a lot of the offensive woes that Oklahoma's having. They need a spark. This is not the Oklahoma offense of what we know and what we remember. Gabriel has left, as we already know that, and I forget there was another coach who left off the top of my head. I can't remember. Did he go to Mississippi State?
Who?
One of the Oklahoma coach.
I don't know. Oklahoma's coach.
Did he go to Mississippi? Or was it the offensive coordinator there and went to Mississippi State? Him and Daniel.
Duke's. Is it Duke's coach?
Is it Duke's coach? Is it Duke's coach? I forget. Yeah. I should have wrote that down. And I think you're right. I think it is Duke's coach. But with that being said, we don't know. Like, we're used to knowing what Oklahoma is offensively, and we know what that looks like, and that's not what we're seeing. Even though they're 3-1, and then asking Michael Hawkins Jr. as a true freshman.
Sorry, Duke's coach went to Texas A&M. I just thought about it.
Okay. As a true freshman to go on the road versus Auburn, I'm taking the other side of that. I'm taking the other side of that. I don't like that at all. Auburn is a tough, super tough place to play, and you're gonna have the true freshman Now I get it, right? I do. I get it, but this is a middling for both these teams in this game. This is a huge game for both these teams. I'm taking the money line. Give me Auburn, man, to win the game. Give me the Auburn Tigers plus 105 to win the game and win it outright. I know Auburn has some quarterback questions of themselves. I feel like they're just going to go with the hot hand. Who's ever playing well, they'll kind of stick with. But I do think that this defensive line for Auburn is going to be able to get after Michael Hawkins and that tenacious crowd down there um, in in Auburn to get the win here. I know there's some other sides there with that game, but I'm sticking with my guns. I'm sticking with my thoughts. I just don't like a freshman going down there, man. I think Thorne will get the start, but I just don't like that's not putting him in a good spot for Hawkins Jr. Like it's just not right there. What's that? Jordan Hare Stadium? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a tough place to play.
It's a tough spot. I don't like that spot at all for him.
I think when Venables is making that decision, I think he's just more looking at the way, um, who is it? Jefferson has been playing.
Okay.
Um,
I just saw this line shifted. I just want to do a
or Jackson, Jackson Arnold. Sorry,
Jackson Arnold. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more the way that Jackson Arnold's been playing than anything to have to do with the freshman Hawkins at best. So I think Venables is like, all right, we just got to get better. This is our opportunity.
You're looking for a spark.
Yeah, he's looking for that spark.
Is this a bad spot to put him in? Are you looking for a spark and in Auburn? Like that's where you're looking for the spark. Like if it was at home, I get that. You got the crowd behind him and things like that. But at Jordan Hare Stadium, like, come on, bro.
This is the only thing. One thing that Oklahoma did show me last week, and I was watching that game. They although Tennessee was the better team offensively for sure, they slowed Tennessee down. They had a lot of turnovers against Tennessee. It's just that they were giving the ball right back because of Jackson Arnold's mishaps. Like really, to be honest with you, Oklahoma would have made this game much tougher, but they stood up strong defensively. Now I know they were home, right? So you have the crowd behind you, the excitement of being on prime time. But they showed me a lot that week. I don't know if that took them out of gas, like playing that such a big game the week before, then having to jump right to Auburn at Auburn. Is that going to slow them down? This could be one of them games that's just a sandwich game where they're in trouble. But Auburn's offense, what did they show you that they're going to be able to do anything? And they seeing what Oklahoma did to Tennessee. I mean, they held them 24 points or something like that last week. So I don't know, man. That line is short enough. I think I might be on the other side of you here.
Yeah, it's a that's why I said it's a 50-50. It's a coin flip. You know what I mean? But I think both these it's a middling point for both these teams because I just looked it up just to make sure that I was right. It's ugly for Auburn if they lose this game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they'll be 2-3, right? Then they got Georgia, Missouri, at Georgia, at Missouri, at Kentucky, and then back home for Vandy.
Yeah, but nobody was expecting anything from Auburn, though. So, I mean, I don't think they got to worry too much about that. Nobody thinks Auburn was going to do anything.
Oh, no. But, I mean, they still want a bowl game, or at least try to get to try to get to a bowl game. And then the Sooners, right, they have Auburn smashed in between Tennessee and Texas.
True.
At Auburn, right? Like you would think you would want to get Hawkins to start at home against Texas. I mean, maybe not. I guess here's a question for you. You're the coach of Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. What's better to make the call for Hawkins to start? At Auburn or home for Texas? That's tough.
No, I'm not. If I'm the head coach and I'm seeing what I'm seeing from my starter and Jackson Arnold, and I'm seeing in practice, and I'm like, he's not it. I'm getting my freshman in here this week, so he can get the butterflies off, so he can be prepared for Texas. I'm not throwing him in on Texas. Texas is a different animal. So for me, it don't matter if I'm home or not. He's still gonna have the same jitters whether he's going home or Texas. He might rather be away to get away from the home crowd, have to learn about the hearing everybody talking on blah 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 blah, and being all excited for the game. So it might be better for him to be playing away because he doesn't have to hear about the home stuff. You know what I mean? Like for me, when I played, I love going to away games and playing. You know what I'm saying? I love going to the new environments. I didn't mind the hotels. I like seeing
Yeah,
different
but
cities.
you ain't the quarterback though. That's different.
No, true, true. But if
Yeah.
I'm saying if I was a quarterback and I knew that I was being about to be the starter here against Texas at home, man, can you imagine walking to class or walking around? Everybody's like, "Hey, good luck." It's just too much.
Cheeks galore.
Well, hopefully, I mean, I'm sure that's part of the situation, but he can get that
It's
dude
a
out the
real
week.
situation, all right.
But what I'm saying is that if I'm the coach, I'm starting him. I'm doing what Brent Venables is doing right now, and that's starting him against Auburn.
No, I get the story of what Venables that you get a win at Auburn. You get some momentum and some confidence
Get some
at home in
confidence.
Texas.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
you're getting that.
yeah,
You get
yeah.
confidence,
Give me
which is
Auburn.
what it look like.
Yeah, I
But no,
don't
I
think
think you know what? I think I might be fighting you on this side. I might go Oklahoma here.
yeah, hey.
Only because I think there's going to be a game of turnovers here, and whoever has less turnovers is going to be the winner.
Yeah,
Auburn I mean, what, 7, 8 turnovers this
no,
year so far? It's just kind of crazy. It's like,
yeah, it is pretty great.
and then you're playing Oklahoma's defense, who showed me a lot. Although they lost to Tennessee, they slowed Tennessee down, held them to 20 in the 20s when Tennessee usually runs it up to 50s and 60s. So that showed me a lot as far as defensively. I don't see how Auburn's going to score. Can you just look at team total for Auburn? That might be my play actually better. Maybe at the side because it's such a close line. But maybe I
Yeah.
might go Auburn's team total under. Maybe we can see if it's a higher total and I can take advantage of that.
Auburn total points 21.5.
Yeah, I would go under.
And then
Yeah,
Oklahoma 23.5.
I like the under 21.5 here. That's 3 scores, over 3 scores. And I don't see that happening for Auburn. Shit, I don't know. Let me look at all. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Oh shit. What's this?
Look at this.
I think I hit the wrong button. The casino button.
The casino button. So look at this. Anybody they played anybody. They lost to California 21-14. They couldn't score. They played Arkansas last week. They couldn't score. They only put up 14 points. Give me the under 21.5. Write it down. Live action play.
Under 21.5. These are all at home games too.
That means nothing for them.
This is that fifth home. Yeah, this is a fifth home game. Is Arkansas good this year? I haven't watched.
I like Arkansas. Arkansas is tricky, man. They should be what, 3-0 right now.
The 3-1.
They had that collapse. Yeah, they had that collapse against that late quarter. They were up like 3 scores going into the fourth quarter against. I like Arkansas. I actually like Arkansas this week.
Let me see what happened at Cal.
Which is a bonus play I got for them here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at some stuff. Go ahead, because I want to switch to football. So you on deck, bro.
Yeah, Arkansas had a
kind of like that. I kind of like your under. You're making me want to
Oklahoma State
switch
game.
Here. Yeah.
They gave up 18 points. So just a bonus, a little parlay. You know, I like to give little parlays out. This is a 14 parlay. Oklahoma, Arkansas money line was going to be a part of it. I took it out, but it's a 6-1. It's opportunity here. I like Army with the spread minus 12.5.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
We're going to go. Let me just get to.
You can play with these numbers too. You know what I mean? Like you can actually never. Yeah, you can go all the way down to 6.5 if you want on that, John.
Well, I think 12.5 is fine. I think they win by 2 scores, so it doesn't matter unless I'm going under 10. So if you want to adjust to 10, that's fine. But I like 12.5. We're going to do 12.5 because it's 6-1.
Yep.
All right, we're going to go Indiana at home playing Maryland. Right, we're going to go money line here. I like Indiana. They showed me a lot. 4-0. They're able to run and pass. I like what they're doing in Indiana. Maryland's still trying to figure out their quarterback situation, what they got going on offensively. We're going to go BYU at Baylor. We're going to take BYU to win money line. So we're going to take that money line to get that plus 145. Baylor had their game last week. They let it slip through their fingers in the last second throw by shotgun puncher George Sanders. I think that carries on to next game against the BYU team that's playing with all heart like they usually do. That coach have them always ready to play. I think there's an opportunity for BYU to keep it going. I like the money line. Then we're going to go Oklahoma. Money line. Oklahoma money line.
Okay.
And that was my 6-1 play. What are we looking at here?
10-1.
Ooh, I like it. That'll be it. 4 teams.
I like the BYU play.
That's the moneymaker. The BYU is the moneymaker.
Moneymaker, yeah.
Now, if you want to do the points, I think it's at 4 points. If you want to just be, think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
BYU, I think it's like at 4. If you want that, take it. But if you want to get the juice for the money, that's where you're going to see.
Not a bad play. 10-1 play, bro. I like it. If it was me, I'm taking Oklahoma out, and I'm taking Army out, and I'm going a 2-legger for plus 2-1 on my money. BYU to win and Indiana to win.
Yep.
Keep it simple, baby.
BYU's a trigger there.
Yeah, I like it. I wanted to go back real quick to that Oklahoma game, and you said something about that that team total under with Auburn, and I just want to look at the first half. Over 19.5. So what is that? Almost 3 scores, right?
What, for the plus money?
Yeah, like, so if they have the line set at 21.5 for Auburn team total for the game, but the first half total was 19.5.
Well, no, it's more than that. It's like 21. It's probably 21.5.
No, I'm looking at it right now, bro. 19.5.
Yeah, that's 19.5 plus at plus 150. That's not where the line's set.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's 22.5.
Yeah, 22, 21.5 is probably like.
So what we're saying, like, even like that would have to be what? 16-7? Right?
Yep.
17-7?
Yeah, well, that's 24. So more like a 20. Yeah, I mean,
even
the line is really
even 14-7 or 14-10.
It's 3 scores at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's got to be 14-10. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking of numbers that would fall to hit this line, because this looks like good value here. If Auburn's 21, you know what I mean, and even they score once. Say they score once in the first half, they get a touchdown, opening drive, they score. But if they don't get another score after that, you're telling me that, well, then there's your 14, right? Then Oklahoma would score twice, and there's your 14.
Which is what it is. I think Oklahoma can score. Yeah, I think they would have scored against Tennessee if they weren't giving the ball right back.
Right,
so
right. Okay.
Oklahoma's showing me that they can score. I mean, but like you said, you got your freshman quarterback in there, so it might be a little bit sluggish in the beginning. But
what's the first quarter total points? 9.5. First quarter spread pick Oklahoma. Okay. Yeah, just something to look at. I'm just, like I said, kind of we out here daydreaming a little bit. All right. NFL. What our next picks for NFL. Let's go right to the game. You know what I mean? Right. Let's go right to our boys. Birds, Tampa. Birds coming off a great win last week. Tampa coming off a terrible loss last week.
That's rough.
They got they got beat up too, including us. Both teams coming in here kind of limping in into this game. A lot of key positions are hurt. As you already know, our whole right side is hurt. I believe last I saw was Becton is going to try to go. They're going to tape his finger. He's going to wear a cast. The question is, with Lane out, Lane is going to be out for this game with a concussion. You know, does Becton slide out to right tackle, or you keep him at right guard? And I forget who was the old boy. I know his number. His number 74.
They play well.
But, yeah, he played pretty well. So, or then you do that, and then obviously the injury to Covey, the injury to Devontae Smith. So big questions at the receiving side of the ball here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And Tampa up front, I know I saw in practice, limited practice for Givens, limited practice for Evans with knee and quad issues respectively. And then Vita Vey is hurt, who's been a stout for them inside that interior defensive line. And was it Khadij? Not damn, what's his name? The Pittsburgh defensive tackle that they drafted. I think it's Canty or Conti.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I believe he's going to be out. So that run game is going to be open. Right now, Philadelphia Eagles are favorite -2, money line -125. Down in Tampa, like you said, again, could be some wet conditions down there, right, from the rainstorm. I think Irving's even hurt too as well. So going to be, kind of a lot of prop bets. I guarantee a lot of prop bets will be on Saquon. And I'm not going to run from it. I'm just going to be smart about it, right? So
you just missed it.
Give me Saquon Barkley over 79.5 total yards rushing. Look, he's averaging almost close to 100 yards per game. He's leading the league in rushing. I do not think that changes. He's a home run threat. Every time he takes the ball, they could give him the ball 15, 12 times for like 40 yards in the first half or first three quarters, and he gets that one daylight and he's off to the races with a 40-yard scamper. So would not surprise me. They'll keep him involved in this game. The props haven't been fully up because we don't know from the offensive side of what the Eagles will look like. It just looks like a lot of Jalen Hurts stuff. Interesting that no Jalen Hurts rushing yards is up. More likely, like you said earlier, behind the scenes, that Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown haven't been ruled out yet, even though it should be like that, more likely. So we'll wait for that, and make sure you follow me on Twitter, and I'll drop some more Eagles best bets on Twitter as well, but MoneyPot podcast. But yeah, give me Barkley with the over the number. I'm just going to stick with the hot hand, man, and they're going to have to feed him to keep them afloat, man. So that's my best bet for in this game. What you got, bro?
No, I like that. I think that's a good bet. Obviously, Tampa Bay is not good against the run. I think the Eagles are adjusting. I think we're going to get better. I think Tampa Bay is just not good against the run. I think they're like ranked 20 in the 20s against the rush. So we should have opportunity. I think we're going to be heavy on the run. Now, back to what you were saying, the storm and stuff like that. I think that impacts Tampa more throughout the week, like today, tomorrow. You're worried about your families. That's in
How
Tampa.
about psychologically?
Yeah, like you gotta you're like not obviously it's a profession. I'm sure the team is away, right? They're probably practicing somewhere else out the way, but that storm is streamlining right through Tampa. But you have to think psychologically about your families and stuff like that, where the Eagles don't have to worry about that. Although the Eagles do have a lot of injuries and question marks. So this is a game I'm going to be off because I don't know where it is. But if I would lean anywhere, it would lead the Eagles because of the storm situation. If it wasn't a storm coming in to impact the family lives of these players, then I would probably lean more on the Tampa Bay side just because they're coming off of an embarrassing loss in Denver. And then the Eagles are kind of limping in here. So I'm going to be off this completely, but I do like the Eagles just because they're going to take advantage of the opportunity. But Saquon Barkley is great. I think he'll be able to get a good couple gash runs to get you over that 76. So good play.
Yeah, I like. And if you're feeling froggy, for him to run over 100 yards, I believe is plus 250.
And can we start doing I think what you could do at the bonus clip is do any time touchdown parlay. I think that'd be fun for the guy.
We'll do that at the end. Anytime touchdown parlay. I think we'll be able to cook something up that we've hit before. So for him to get over 100 yards plus 260, like I said, they're going to load the box. But I think Barkley will find some, because it'll be easier for them to defend, right? Maybe bracket Goddard, load the box against Barkley, make somebody else beat you.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Like make make Wilson, John, what's his name? Is it Wilson? Jonathan Wilson? I forget his first name. Wilson for our receiver from Florida State. Well, I forget his first name. But make Wilson beat you. Make Dotson beat you. Make somebody else beat you that typically wouldn't be in this position. And I think that's how you defend the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. This game could be ugly. All right, this game could be an ugly game. So I want to say it's Johnny Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that's what his name is. But all right, what you got in NFL, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm going to start off with probably one of the biggest games of the week here. Minnesota at Green Bay.
The return of Aaron Jones to
Green
Lambeau.
Bay.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, the way Green Bay's been playing since Love's injury against the Eagles in Brazil, he got Malik Willis looking better than anybody's seen Malik Willis in the NFL. You know what I mean? I know it was Tennessee, but I think the way that he's coaching him, he's putting him in the best position, which is, and I don't want to get into it, which is the number one job as the head coach. And I always say it, is put your players in the best position to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's what the coach of the Green Bay Packers have been doing since he's got to Green Bay. He's led Green Bay to multiple NFC championship games. They just haven't got over the hump. And I think he's doing a great job showing how great of a coach he is by getting Malik into a situation where he's since he started, doesn't throw the ball much, but he's 25 of 34 throwing the ball really good, 324 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and the most important part about it, no turnovers. So he's playing into the favor of that quarterback. With all that being said, them being a 3-point favorite in this game, which is just pretty much saying we're home field, pretty much saying they're going into Lambeau, and them not really understanding if Minnesota is the real deal. I think Minnesota is the real deal. I think they're led by their defense because their defense is stout. They're giving teams crazy problems across the board. That's pressure on the quarterback. That's disguising coverages. I think Brian Flores is having a tremendous season so far with Minnesota, and he's gotten the credit from other teams saying, hey, bro, whatever you're scheming is crazy. Because that was Brock Purdy's words to Brian Flores after that game they beat the 49ers. And he continued that into this past week. I think this will continue to go on. Sam Darnold's playing close to an MVP caliber quarterback right now. I know he escaped the injury last week, so that's great. So he'll be able to play. Give me Minnesota with the points at +3 here. I think they beat Green Bay because they're a better team than Green Bay. And I think Brian Flores will have an answer for the way they've been playing Malik Willis. You got 2 weeks on tape. Brian Flores most likely was in the lab all weekend going into preparation for this week. And it's one of the biggest rivalries in football, Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers.
Correct.
Give me Minnesota at 3. If you want to get the 3.5, cool. If anything's going to be a close game. And I like Minnesota to win here. So if you want to sprinkle something on the money line, go ahead and do that. I think it's more gimmick on the Green Bay Packers because of the quarterback and Malik having to play this way to be successful. I just think the defense of Minnesota is going to be able to adjust and be able to give him headaches. And he's going to see things he hasn't seen before. Give me Minnesota here. I love Minnesota. This is a big play for
me. Ooh. I do like the play. I think I need to see if Alexander is going to play. I think he's on the injury. He's got the injury bug this week. Willis is playing better. I do agree with you here. Always tough to play in Lambeau, though, right? That's definitely a factor for me. Always tough to play in Lambeau. And I think last week with Malik Willis against the Tennessee Titans, that was his Super Bowl, right? Go back to Tennessee and show off. That was, and Tennessee is really bad. Like Tennessee is really bad too. So perfect scenario, perfect setup. I do like the play. I think Minnesota is for real, like you said, and Donald is perfectly leading that offense. But I do worry if Alexander. I don't think Alexander follows. And then when I say Alexander, I'm talking about Jair Alexander, starting All-Pro quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I don't think he shadows. I think he stays on the one side. So you can move Jefferson around, but If they make him shadow, Green Bay could have Minnesota could have a lot of trouble here in this game, kind of moving the ball. But I do like the play. I like the points. You get some protection there, and for our parlay, I'll tell you right now, Aaron Jones is scoring. Aaron Jones is scoring in this game. He is going to score in this game. There's no way they don't give him the ball, or at least have him get the ball close to the goal line and him scoring. So I expect Aaron Jones to score in this game, and another revenge spot for Jones too. They let him walk, so I can see him teeing off in this game as well. So I wonder what his numbers are. 59.5. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. See, they got the total rushing and receiving for them boys. But no, they don't have him up for them too. Just Jefferson and Dobbs. Okay. All right. I do like the play though. Tricky week though. I think it's a little bit of tricky week this week when we're starting to understand who these teams are and what these teams are about. So but not really a lot of good matchups you want to play where if I was telling you before, like some people like Nate, like Texans seem like easy smoke. But I don't like 0-3 go against 0-3 teams that are desperate. I don't. 0-3 teams are who are desperate to win. Because if you go on 0-4, you might as well get them bags back. You know what I mean? You might as well get them back because you more likely are not going to the playoffs at all. So,
and they're going to fire Doug Peterson too. So
yeah, he's going to be the first coach fired for sure. He might not even finish the season. I don't understand this line either. This -10 against the Niners. I don't understand that line either. I started to understand this line. I got this line early. I think it was like -2.5 in the week and the look ahead. I don't think Herbert's playing in this game. He might, but I don't think so. But we going to Vegas, baby. We are going to Vegas with the Cleveland Browns traveling East Coast to West to go to Las Vegas and to play the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this line is at -2. Total points is 36.5. Got some key injuries here. Looks like Ford, I think his first name is Jeremy Ford for Cleveland Browns, is going to be out for this game. He hasn't practiced at all this week. Myles Garrett has not practiced at all this week. So look out for those two key injuries. On the Raiders side, Max Crosby is limited or did not practice yesterday. So you have to look out for that too as well. But I'm going to just say it plain. Cleveland is horrible. Like, Cleveland is horrible. And then you're going to take away the run game, right? You're going to take away their run game, and then you're going to need – they didn't have a run game in the first one to begin with. They're struggling at that point. But then you're going to need Watson to be Deshaun Watson. And we haven't seen Deshaun Watson for 2 years. Can't believe I'm saying this. But give me Minshew over Watson, like at this point. And not even that, their head coach called out the team publicly and said, we got some business decisions to make because you guys got embarrassed last week against the Panthers. You let the Panthers show up and show out, and you made some business decisions. Well, guess what? We're making some business decisions this week. I believe his will. I believe his players will respond. I expect the Raiders to roll here and take care of business against the Cleveland Browns at home, where it's not the black hole, but they're making the black hole. I've seen that stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, the big old black hockey puck right there on the strip, right off the strip in Las Vegas, man. Give me the Raiders on the short line, -2.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, I do like your take against Cleveland. I think they're struggling. Obviously, their run game is going to be now impacted again, and Watson hasn't shown up. It's unfortunate.
At all. Like, like you have to play him because you paid him. Like, that's the problem. Like, you have to pay him because you paid him, but you can't have $180 million just sitting on a bench with a clipboard. But like, it is tough. You know what I mean? It is tough to watch them. They got beat up by the Cowboys. They beat what we think it might be a really bad Jags team at 0-3, and they just lost to the Giants.
Yeah. That's
You
rough.
know what I mean? Like that's rough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
You sound like you had him in your survival pool. That's what it sounds like from last week. Like that was your team you picked. You just don't like them boys now.
No. I was already out by then. I was out too. The Ravens got me against the Raiders. The Ravens got me. Mops.
Raiders.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
All right.
So I think they respond here. That's my second best bet of the day.
Here we go.
Let's go.
We're going to get that teaser, baby. We switched my first teaser in college to a parlay, so now we got to at least put a real teaser out here, right?
Okay, talk to me.
Just a 2-team 7-point teaser. We're just going
I
to do
like
it that
it.
way.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Keep it clean.
I'm going to go with the team I think looks legit. We're taking Denver traveling to New York.
I knew it. I was already there. I already know it.
Thank you, sir. Denver traveling to New York. They got that little win. But now Bo Nix is going to see a real defense. Okay? Bo Nix. Welcome to the NFL, Bo Nix. You got Sauce Gardner and them boys. A front line that's going to be able to get after your ass in New York. And a team that's rallying behind Aaron Rodgers as long as he stays healthy. You can see him getting a little bit more comfortable in that pocket and throwing to his boy Wilson. I like the Jets here. We're going to tease them down from 7.5 to -0.5, which is pretty much a pick to win.
Okay.
I really like this game here. And then we're going to take that with Kansas City at Los Angeles. We're taking Kansas City at -7, going to a unfortunately injured, riddled Chargers team right now. You're getting him at the moment where they don't know if Herbert's going to be able to play. He had an injury this week going into, I want to say, was it the wrist?
Ankle.
Again? The ankle. I'm sorry, the ankle.
Yeah.
So he might be hobble coming in, but most importantly, their captain, their king on defense will not also be there. He got suspended last game.
Derwin
James.
Yeah.
He won't be on the field this week. So I like that. I like them there to Kansas City to kind of get their stuff together and win this game. So we're going to take them down to a pick. So you take New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs for 2-unit teaser.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. 2 teams just to win the game. 2 of the better teams in to win the game. Now, ESPN does not do teasers really well, right? So if you look, +5.5 points, you're paying 65 on the line. That is terrible. That's a terrible number. You got to go to DraftKings and do this teaser. So head over to DraftKings and put in the Jets in the Chiefs as a 2-leg teaser, 7-point teaser. Should get that at -120. I'll do it on the other side of my screen real quick here, just so you guys can see that, what that looks like. I don't want to cheat you. I won't be lazy. Jets.
Should be -120.
It should be -120. Yeah, for sure. Damn, that Niners line is moving 10.5. Like, the Niners are so hurt. I just don't understand why that line is moving like that. Let me take this off real quick. Got Jets, Chiefs, teaser. So it's actually the 7-point teaser is juiced up at -140. So let me just share that real quick. That's the way these books try to protect themselves when you buy points, right?
Well, go to 6.5. You can go 6.5. That's fine.
Yeah, so 6.5 at least probably -130.
Yeah.
So just for them to win, right? -1, half a point.
Yep.
Get a little bit better of the line. It's just tough play because
when
you do 200, right, and then your bet is 200, but you're betting. If you want to win $200, you have to bet 260.
260, yeah.
Right. So that's where the juice kind of comes in, right? Because with that 30. So that's it's a tough bet. That's a tough bet from a value standpoint. But what the handicap that Humble gave and the way these games are set up, This game's make sense. And remember, anything in LA Chargers is a home game for the other team. And KC Chiefs travel well. Trust me, Chief Nation is going to be in LA for sure. For sure. Absolutely. I like the Chiefs straight. But yeah, okay. So we wanted to get to the end here and give you guys a nice little we'll stay on DraftKings here. Give you guys a nice any touchdown parlay, man. We see so many people put in $15 and win like $3 million. It's just ridiculous.
I do have a 12-1 team parlay if you want to throw that in there.
12-1?
12-1.
12-1. Ooh. I'm just looking at the look ahead lines real quick, man.
Might be bigger than that than 12 on your book.
Yeah, I just want to look at real quick. I'm just looking at the look ahead lines. These are some opportunities where you can find some good value here. I think the only line I like is this line right here. I'll take the Cardinals with the points. And probably Washington. But nothing other than that. There's some tough games next week, too. All right. Go ahead. I digress. What you got?
All right. This is looking at a 12-1. Mind you, this is just a bonus play. You guys can throw and sprinkle a little bit of dollars on it just to see if it hits. So usually a money line play. We're going to take Dallas money line tonight to win against against the New York Giants. I think the Giants come back to earth. Good win last week, though. Psych. Houston. I like Houston here at home. I know you said this is a tricky one. It could be, but Jacksonville sucks. Give me the Jets again. We're going to put the Jets in here, money line. Kansas City, money line. We already talked about those teams. This is where you're going to make your money. This is where we're going to give you the money opportunity. Give me Buffalo, money line. It's a late game, I think. At Baltimore. And plus money here. And then we're going to take Washington, Arizona over 50.5. There we go, over 50. Looking at close to 12-1, 11.75.
All right, let's run through it again. Dallas, money line. So you got to get that in tonight. Houston, Texas, money line. Jets, money line. Chiefs, money line. Buffalo, money line. And over minus 112 in the Washington Commanders, Arizona game, over 50. Not a bad play, bro. Not a bad play at all. Drop in the comments. Who messes this parlay up? If you're picking somebody, who's going to mess this parlay up? There's always one. There's always a race somewhere. Always a sweat somewhere.
Always.
All right, as we promised, let's do a quick touchdown parlay.
We already got two of them.
All right. I want to do one that's going to cash out something silly. So, just walk me through it. We'll just do this one together real quick. You're gonna give me those other two. We'll post them later. TD touchdown. Give me CeeDee Lamb here. I think that makes a lot of sense. They can run the ball and score. And then Giants have, I believe the Giants have two of their starting corners out. I think Banks will be there, but I think two of the rookies, I think Jackson and I forget the other kid's name, was out. You have any other? Oh yeah, we'd already talked about this one. Give me Aaron Jones. Easy.
Yep.
Aaron Jones plus 130. Aaron Jones gonna score. Yeah, y'all might be tripping. They ain't gonna get up. It'll be 1st and 5 at the goal line. They are giving Aaron Jones the ball 4 times.
Saquon Barkley.
I like it. Get greedy with 2 touchdowns?
No, we're gonna keep it where it is.
Keep it light. All right. Cincy, so no Tennessee, the Saints, and I know Kamara's banged up, so don't like that.
We can go Robinson anytime touchdown.
Yeah, let's see if we keep going. Let's go Mason. He's been there. He's been a bell cow. Yeah, minus 215. I take it. All right, we got 4 leg here. You said you like the Chiefs here, right? So who scores for the Chiefs?
No, I'm not gonna mess with the Chiefs.
You're not gonna mess with the Chiefs?
I would go. If you want to put some money in there, you can go.
Well, we 9-1 got some money.
Daniels. You can go Daniels to score for Washington.
It's not a bad pick.
He's gonna run a lot.
Okay.
We could go the plus value. You're gonna get some Juwan Jennings, some some Jefferson from Minnesota, Juwan Jennings from San Fran. Opportunity here for some plus money.
We already got Mason in there. I don't like double dipping.
Okay, you got Mason. Would you go?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like double dipping. And then Gonzalez is a problem over there in the Patriots. That's why I don't get this line. I don't get this 10.5. They don't really have anybody offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Baltimore. I'm trying to think how Baltimore.
Oh, and then you can go Carrion Williams too. I think Carrion Williams scores.
Oh, for the Rams?
Yeah, that's their whole offense. I think he leads the league in touchdowns, so he's definitely gonna get the ball. If you want to just throw some easy ones in there.
Yeah, Carrion Williams makes a lot of sense too.
Yep.
34.
And if you want to go like Buffalo, maybe Jared Cook. He's been cooking in the end zone, but that'd be it. I wouldn't go too further than those. Let's see, we're at plus 3,400. How crazy you want to get?
Well, the crazy one, the money would come from if we did 2 touchdowns, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
That's like we would take one of these and add 2. So, I mean, I think, CD to score twice makes sense. Jones to score twice kind of makes sense, and so does Barkley to score twice. Makes sense to me. And then Mason, Daniels, and then I would even leave Carrion Williams out. It's a dookie game.
He's gonna score though.
Yeah, he probably will. Yeah, they don't got nobody else, like you said. Mm-hmm. So let me do it like this. Like you said, because I said this joint got to be funky.
Just add it. Just add it to one of them. I would go Aaron Jones for 2.
Yeah, Aaron Jones for sure for 2. All right, because we gotta get out of here. Get people to get time to put the bets in. All right, so real quick, I'm going CD too. I think CD. It wouldn't surprise me if CD gets 2. They can't run the ball. And then Jones for 2. Where's he at? That 900 is going to take it through the roof. And just give me Barkley for 1. I won't get greedy with Barkley. Psh, silly. $50 to win you 10 grand, bro. No, $5 to win you $1,000. All starts tonight with CD giving me
for me. Put that in for me.
Yeah, $5 to get. You know what I mean? We chasing here.
Put $25 on that.
Barkley, Aaron Jones, CD Lamb, Carrion Williams, and Jordan Mason. With Aaron Jones and CD scoring 2 touchdowns. $5 bet win you $1,000. $25 win you $5. $50 win you $11. And if you're feeling froggy, $200 win you $45 grand, dog. See? Why not?
Let's get it.
That's a car. Why not? Why not? I mean, all right. Why not? Why not? So college week 5, NFL week 4 best bets. As always, I will put 2 more videos here for you guys to watch of our best bets. So make sure you guys check those out. For myself, Moss Money. For Humble. This is Moss. Sorry. This is MoneyPot Betting. We will catch you guys next week. Happy hunting and good luck.